I was coming and put you for a chat, but then looks like you're into something.
I'll give you. I'll be back in 5.
Come back in 5.
I'll switch over.
You got time for me after that?
I have time for you, yeah.
All right, I'll leave you with Cooper Trooper for now, all right? All right, interrupt again.
I don't know.
Would you like a cup of tea?
Please.
I love that this season, at least one, we're getting better looking people. So I love that both Tamara and Matteo are not bad looking. Although Matteo is giving me Medhi vibes. If you've watched Love Island UK, you know who Medhi is. Medhi is the guy who was coupled up with Whitney, the first guy she coupled up with in the villa. And you know him. The way he walked in gave me Medhi vibes. I also love that their participants seem a bit older. So they do have the 22, 23-year-olds, but they also have the, late 20s, which I love. So the drama with Lacy is getting old. We need to skip that. I think it's getting old. She might as well go home because she is playing in a kiddie pool with adults, and I don't get it in the sense that she's not emotionally intelligent. She's not mature. Her conversation barely makes sense. It's really so immature, so kindergarten level that it's shocking. And then, if nothing else, I would rather watch the dynamics between Cooper, Kia, and Mike. The guys are enjoying winding up Mike. I'm going to say that. The guys are enjoying winding up Mike for reasons best known to them. We're yet to see exactly what he's doing that's causing people to agitate him. But I know, I love it. Anyway, hey there. Thanks for stopping by. It's your girl Valerie. Welcome to my channel. If you're new here, don't forget to subscribe, click the like button, turn on the notification bell for when I upload new videos, and definitely leave a comment. In this episode, I'll be reviewing Love Island Australia, Season 7, Episode 8. So the episode picks up with that dynamic between Lacy, Cooper, and Kia, and there's this situation whereby the guys are sitting there, they're sort of fighting over Lacy, and Lacy is eating it up, and it's like, girl, please grow up. Grow up. Why are you entertained by two grown men fighting over you? Make that make sense? I don't get it. So the guys are sort of clashing over Lacy and sort of trying to pull her for chats. She is not being consistent or being honest with the guys, irregardless of her telling the camera countless times that I'm being honest, because she loves the attention. Gabby was right to say Lacy's eating it up. She loves the attention from the guys. She loves the fact that they are fighting over her, and this is what she's going to enjoy. Eventually, you had Kia sort of stand up and walk off because you had Cooper say, let's give her the opportunity to pick. And in the end, she said, oh, give me 5 minutes and then I'll come. For Cooper to stay behind and badmouth somebody else, I didn't like that. I think this is why the guys are winding him up, in the sense that initially he was very disrespectful to Mike when Mike came in, and now he's trying to use the same template on Kia, and these are very immature boys and they're really going to wind him up. So I love that they did that. You then had Kia go and sit with Gabby and Jotham, and they were laughing because they were saying, Lacy's enjoying this, she's eating it up. And she really was eating it up. For Cooper to sort of say, oh, Kia is controlling, why is he trying to pull you? He's trying to keep her safe. He's trying to make sure that he's got a partner in the Love Island villa. If you do not have a partner, you are going home. So I didn't get the mess, and I didn't understand why he needed to say that. Anyway, you have the, Lacy eventually go for a chat with Kia. And then she's saying, oh, it's sexy, the fact that he was fighting for me. Suddenly she's kissing him. After in the previous episode, she had refused to kiss him because of her makeup. She is being very immature and she's playing silly games. And I hope everyone sees through her and she can go home, because she's not providing anything that's different from anyone else. The islanders get ready for bed. Everybody goes to bed. And it was actually peaceful because you didn't have anyone else throwing a tantrum and sleeping outside. In the morning, you had the islanders wake up. Obviously, you had Ross make breakfast for Sean. I think Ross is with Sean because he has no other choice. I really don't think he likes her as much, because it took him a long time to kiss her, and then eventually when he started kissing her, it wasn't there. I don't think he likes her, but I think he's trying to keep himself safe in the villa and is going to do whatever it takes to sort of stay in the villa. For there to be a conversation between the girls about, their couples, and you had Yana, surprisingly, she's made up with Lacy, and they're now sitting there and talking, and it's like, I think production intervened. I think production intervened, and this is why there's more peace, because you suddenly also had, Kia come and join them, and they were having a conversation, and then Kia started flirting with Sean, and you had Yana actually stand up and walk away because I think it was a bit too much for her. And that's when I truly believed what she said when she said this guy likes to wind her up and likes to get in her head and make her sort of lose herself. And this is what he was doing. Anyway, the islanders get ready for the night. You have everyone come out, they pick up their drinks. And so there's conversations taking place. And so for Lacy to go and have a chat with Cooper didn't make sense. It didn't, because she kept going in circles, and I think production tried to follow it. And when they realized that it's not making sense, they skipped over it and they just moved on to the next person because it didn't make sense. That's why they sent her a text message which read, "Islanders, it's time to take an aim and shoot your shot in tonight's game. A Cupid's arrow. Hashtag hit the bullseye. Hashtag love at first fight." And it's like, oh God, it's about to be messy, because when they do that, it's always messy. But I love that it wasn't a dirty game. So what happened is they had this sort of circle, this disc, where it had sort of three angles. And so they would put three pictures up, and then someone would be blindfolded and would pick a picture, and then whoever he picked, that's the person that they kissed. I thought it was cute. At least there wasn't exchange of saliva. You know how I feel about that. Anyway, so you have, first up be Jotham. He had Mick, Isabelle, and Lacy, and he picked Lacy. He kissed Lacy, and then he said, "Kissing Lacy has just proved to me that whatever we had is over. It's over and done with. It's time for me to move on." Good for him. Next up was Kia. Kia had Cooper, Yana, and Lacy. He picked Lacy. Well, he picked Yana, sorry, and Lacy was upset because she felt he should have kissed her on the cheek. And it's like, so you want respect, but you couldn't afford Yana the same respect. When you were making out with this guy for, God knows how long in the previous challenge, you didn't respect Lacy enough. And yet suddenly you're offended that why is he kissing Lacy? Make that make sense? We get to meet Tamara. She's 28. She's an international model. She's from Ireland. And when she walked in, she was stunning. She really was stunning. I would have loved to see her personality mixed with someone like Bailey. That would have been entertainment gold, because they really seem very hyper, very cheerful. So they would have been very good entertainment for us. It's a pity they were not given the opportunity to spend time together. Anyway, so Tamara's was, the guys immediately said to her, "You need to pick someone." So she had Jotham, Mike, and Connor. She picked Jotham. For Gabby to say he's only 22 years old, I thought that was a bit, for her to say, "Oh, you're giving cougar vibes." And it's like, girl, I know he's your guy, but you don't really need to do a bit too much. Jotham has been well behaved. He hasn't given you reason to question whether he was going to be your guy or not. So I didn't like that. Next up was Mike. He had Cooper and two of Tamara's. He picked Mike and then eventually picked again, and he kissed Tamara. They seem to enjoy that. Cooper was next. He had three pictures of Tamara. He kissed Tamara. It was like, oh, people are really being messy. We then met the next bombshell, a guy, because the text message came through. Matteo. Matteo is 26 and he's a tradie and he's from Newcastle. The way he walked in like Medhi. He really did. He walked in like Medhi, and I had so many questions. Anyway, for Matteo, after that, you had Ross. Ross had Shana, Tamara, and Connor. He picked Tamara. He kissed Tamara. And then you had Shana say, "Oh, hold his what's his name? The little thingy at the back of his head." And she was you had Tamara be put off by that. Ross wasn't happy because he said she's gatekeeping me, and I'm not sure how I feel about that. I was like, she has been, because she knows that the chances of other girls liking you are highly unlikely. So I'm surprised you've realized this. Matteo, he had Lacy, Tamara, and Sean. He picked Lacy. They shared a kiss. And on his part, Kia was saying, "Oh, but she was upset with me for kissing Yana, and yet she's doing exactly the same." He didn't understand it. So after the game, you had the islanders sort of be separated. You had the girls go with Matteo while the boys went with Tamara. And so when the boys sat down with Tamara, I felt Ross was disrespectful. I felt it wasn't appropriate, the question he asked, because he asked, what's your relationship with your dad? And I love that Tamara said, my dad is late. And what's your relationship with your dad? I felt that was disrespectful. There was no need for that. There really was no need for that. It wasn't necessary. And so I don't understand why he felt the need to say that, or why he felt the need to sort of disrespect her in that way, because I found it disrespectful. You had the guys trying to sort of chat with Tamara, and At one point, Mike said, I think our chat is really weak because why is she sort of taking control of the conversation when we are all here? And it's like, because maybe all of you lack emotional intelligence. On their part, the girls, you had Isabelle really be interested in this guy because she was asking Ross, why are you on Love Island? When was your last relationship? He said he's on Love Island for love. He said his last relationship was a year and a half ago. And it's like, wow, she really is into him and is really trying her best to see if she can suss him out. She's been telling everyone that, she's stuck on Connor, but I think Connor might have to sort of move to the left because somebody's about to take over. Interesting. You then had Kia sit down for a chat with Lacy, and Lacy was kicking off because she was asking, "Why did you kiss Yana?" And on his part, Kia was saying, "It's over between me and Lacy, so I don't understand the big deal." I said it before, I'll say it again. Lacy wants to be the center of attention, and when she's not the center of attention, she kicks off, and she uses her body as a way to secure guys because every guy she's explored, she's always had to kiss them. She hasn't had a conversation; she's always had to kiss them to try and convince them to pick her. So it was a bit off-putting. We then had Matteo go for a chat with Isabelle, of all people, and they really seem to get along. He said you want someone who's emotionally intelligent, someone who's confident, someone who's not a pushover, and you could see that they were really getting along. They had this vibe whereby they seemed to align on something, and Isabelle was saying that she really likes him. She spoke about her engagement, the fact that she was engaged for 6 months 5 years ago, and it's like, oh my god, she's had more conversation with this guy than the person she said she's closed off with. So make that make sense. Was it really a romantic connection with Connor, or was it a convenient connection? I don't quite get it. So while all the other islanders are sort of hanging around, Connor on his part was in the kitchen with Gabby and Jotham, and they were laughing because Connor was saying, he was worried, but he was trying to put on an act that he's not worried because Isabelle had been chatting with Matteo for a long time. For him to go and offer a cup of tea and whatever, I felt that was just giving immature vibes. He should have just minded his business and just waited to see what was happening because he had already told the others that, if Matteo picks, my partner, then I am going home. It's like, maybe you do need to go home because you really haven't done anything that stuck out. Cooper immediately pulled, Tamara for a chat, and that was wasted effort because he thought he was doing a great job, and she, on her part, could barely keep her eyes open. She was on snooze fest because he was too pompous and too intense, and being intense, he put her off. And he didn't realize it put her off. In his opinion, he thought he was doing such a great job. And it's like, buddy, you're not. You really are not. It's a pity you can't see where you're going wrong. But this girl has been put off by you. He kept talking. She really couldn't stand him. You then had the guys downstairs sort of talking about how Mike was enjoying winding up Cooper. And so for Mike to go up and try and interrupt Cooper was just chef's kiss because he went up there. He said, can I have some time to chat with her? Cooper on his part said, I need a moment, and then Mike went and made a cup of tea. I actually think that Tamara and Mike bring out the best in each other. The way they were very chipper, they were very giggly, they were very giddy. They would make a better couple than Cooper. Cooper needs to go home. It's time for him and Connor to go home. I'm pleasantly surprised that they were in as number one when we had amazing people like Mike sort of waiting to come in. I can't wait to see what happens next. Thanks guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, share, comment and subscribe. Click on the link in my video to watch my review from episode 7. Bye everyone.